Good evening. You're now with me, Shalishma for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Sarawak's revenue is projected to be higher than last year's figure, with an estimate of over 13.3 billion ringgit. Sarawak is set to study Australia's crocodile population control method. And of course, it's another bronze for Malaysia, as national men's singles shuttler Lee Zijia delivered the latest medal against India's Lakshya Sen. We begin with this news. Sarawak's revenue is projected to reach an upward of 13.3 billion ringgit, higher than last year's figures. However, this projection does not include the estimated revenue from the acquisition of natural gas aggregator rights. Premier Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng stressed that the acquisition of control and regulatory rights from Petroleum Nasional Berhad or Petronas and Petroleum Sarawak Berhad Petros is based on the constitutional law.
Now, aggregator is also based on our constitutional right. So we have prepared our laws, we amended our laws based on that constitutional right, and we are now exercising that right based on the constitution.
Abang Johari also highlighted that issues related to the aggregator and natural gas are now a topic of economic discussion at the national level, garnering attention from international medias alike. Previously state-owned oil and gas exploration company Petroleum Sarawak Berhad or Petros is set to take over from Petronas all activities related to the acquisition, supply, distribution and sale of natural gas in Sarawak from July 1. However, Petronas has requested a postponement of the takeover due to concerns that gas distribution to the LNG plant in Bintulu, which could be affected. Meanwhile, Deputy Premier Sarawak Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga Ambas announced that Sarawak has recorded a revenue of 7.66 billion ringgit as of June this year. Uga, who is also Sarawak's Second Minister of Finance, stated that the impressive figure is a testament to the effectiveness of the Sarawak's leadership under Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng.
We have 6 months more to go. Belum dapat pendapatan dari aggregator. Semua pendapatan baru yang cukup lumayan untuk Sarawak.
He added Sarawak is well on its way to attain a high-income developed region status by 2030. In addition to economic prosperity, Uga described Abang Johari as a leader who emphasizes the importance of harmony among the different races and religions in Sarawak.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Ahmad Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, will lead the Sarawak government delegation to Australia to study the country's crocodile population control. Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said that the increasing crocodile population in Sarawak necessitates the need for suitable crocodile management methods.
Abang Johari added that Sarawak also wants to learn Australia's crocodile population control method, as the reptile is declared as an endangered species by the United Nations.
Tapi what happened is we want to know how Australia manage crocodile population, and the way how they kalaunya culling, how do they cull boyak, because boyak under United Nations is the menyebutnya spesies yang hapus lah. Endangered. Jadi kita terpaksa jaga boyak juga. Boyak 4 kaki lah, not 2 kaki mana katanya.
Abang Johari added that the delegation would also include Deputy Minister for Urban Planning, Land Administration and Environment, Dato' Len Talif Saleh.
Correct. We study how they manage the crocodile-nya. Waktu ni yang bunuh crocodile. What they do with the crocodile, so that they don't go against the United Nations. They call it diminishing species. Diminishing species. Jadi Datuk Ong Tengah lah. Dengan Datuk Len akan pergi juga.
They're living today.
Today.
Today. Sekali 4 hari saya jangan boyak. Kerana boyak tu di Northern Territory lain. Di Southern Australia lain. So they have to study. Kayaknya pun nyampun water system rivernya. We have to study all that. Sini di Northern Territory saya dah melihat boyak yang dengan kobo coexist. Kobo si makan boyak, boyak si makan kobo.
Previously, Land Olive revealed that the crocodile population in Sarawak has nearly doubled to about 25,000 in 9 years. Crocodile-human conflict cases in Sarawak average 6 incidents per year.
Sarawak is ready to amend the National Parks and Nature Reserves Ordinance 1998 to enhance the management of its natural parks. The upcoming amendments also encompass the state's Wildlife Protection Ordinance 1998, introducing steeper fines and prison sentences. Premier Sarawak Dr. Patiki Tan Sri Abang Johari Jonapang assured that relevant studies are underway, with the State Attorney General currently examining the principal ordinance.
And once the study has been done and recommended by AG, then we will discuss the detail in the cabinet. Then after that, we pass to the DUN for the amendment. But what is important now is we look into the key areas in terms of our environmental protocol. Especially kita pun national park, our nature park, all that. Jadi kita pun green environment is being preserved. So there must be certain rules that govern how we manage it. Plus the question of penalty.
Abang Johari explained that although Sarawak has laws focusing on related areas, the current legal actions are insufficient. Under the new amendment, Sarawak may impose stricter penalties, including imprisonment for offenders. The National Parks and Nature Reserves Ordinance 1998, last amended in May 2008, consists of 38 sections divided into 6 parts. It includes provisions for appointing the controller of national parks and nature reserves, the functions and duties of the controller, the formation of a national park or nature reserve within a forest reserve, the appointment of a managing agent, the assessment and decision on compensation, offences and penalties, among other aspects. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Fadila Yusof on Sunday reunited with his former SK St Mary Sibu headmistress, Sister Ignatia Soon, in Kuching. The Facebook post, Fadila described the half-hour meeting as very meaningful after several attempts of him trying to arrange the meeting with her. He added Sister Ignatia served as the principal of SK St Mary from 1968 until her retirement in 1995. Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation and Putrajaya MP also took the time to extend his appreciation to all his former principals and teachers for the guidance and knowledge that shaped his formative years. Fadila attended SK St Mary Sibu from 1969 to 1974, completing his primary education there. Now on to Sukma Updates. Sarawak has set its sights on 70 gold medals at the upcoming 21st Malaysia Games of Sukma. Sarawak Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the target was set after considering the capabilities of Sarawak's athletes.
Kalau kita hit 70, saya rasa kita akan dapat menjadi juara. Karena yang lain-lain tu akan berbagi jumlahnya dengan semua negeri-negeri yang lain. Saya difahamkan ada satu lagi negeri di Semenanjung juga letak target 70. Jadi lebih kurang kita sama. Kalau tak silap saya Selangor ke apa ya. Juga 70. Selangor ataupun wilayah. Dan tapi kita tidaklah ambil 70 kita letak tu. Kita juga berpandu dengan keupayaan.
He said this during a recording session for TVS interview program Dialogue TVS on Monday. A total of 488 events will be contested at the upcoming Sukma, set to begin on August 17. Catch the full recording of Dialogue TVS with Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamza, who is also the chairman of the 21st Sukma Sarawak 2024, on August 12 on TVS Channel 122. In similar matters, Abdul Karim hinted that the Sarawak government would offer special rewards to Sarawakian athletes winning gold at the upcoming Sukma Games. However, Abdul Karim did not specify the exact amount of incentives, stating that details would first be discussed at the cabinet level.
Pada masa ini kita belum lagi melihatnya dari perspektif itu karena apa-apa imbuhan yang akan diberi ataupun insentif yang akan diberi kepada pemenang-pemenang dalam Sukma ini akan diputuskan oleh kabinet. Tapi saya percaya Sarawak sebagai tuan rumah kita akan beri imbuhan yang baguslah. Lebih bagus daripada Sukma-Sukma yang lepas dan mestilah kalau dapat sama rata dengan negeri yang memberi jumlah yang terbesar ataupun lebih. Itulah yang saya dapat baca daripada apa yang Abang Jo ataupun Premier Sarawak maklumkan tempoh hari. Kita tak mahu umumkan dahululah. Kita mahu atlet tu apabila mereka masuk ke gelanggang, masuk ke stadium, jangan melihatnya dari perspektif imbuhan, tapi lebih melihatnya bagaimana hendak memenangi untuk negeri, untuk diri mereka sendiri. Ini amat penting sekali sebagai seorang atlet. Jangan sekali-sekali melihat keimbuhan. Kita akan tahu bagaimana hendak reward ataupun memberi ganjaran kepada atlet-atlet yang menang, insyaAllah.
On Saturday, the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, announced that the amount of incentives for gold medal winners would only be decided after the Sarawak Government Cabinet meeting.
Welcome back to the Nightline. It's another bronze for Malaysia as national men's singles shuttler Lee Zijia delivered the latest bronze against India's Lakshya Sen 13-21, 21-16, 21-11 in the 71-minute playoff at the Porte de la Chapelle Arena this evening. This is Zijia's second win over Lakshya in 5 meetings, and it ended his rival's hopes of becoming the first male shuttler from India to win an Olympic medal. In yesterday's semi-finals, Zijia fell 14-21, 15-21 to 2023 world champion Kunlavut Vitisan of Thailand, while Lakshya went down 20-22, 14-21 to defending champion Victor Axelsen of Denmark. Zijia is the third Malaysian men's singles shuttler to have won an Olympic medal. Yesterday, men's doubles Aaron Chia Soh Woo Yik delivered the first medal for Malaysia at Paris 2024 when they defeated Denmark's Kim Astrup and Skarup Rasmussen 16-21, 22-20, 21-19. On to the next update. The Media and Strategic Communications Division of the Prime Minister's Office, PMO, today summoned Meta Platforms Inc. Meta to explain its removal of content related to the Palestinian issue from Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim's social media platforms. The PMO expressed strong disapproval of Meta's decision to delete posts, the Prime Minister offering condolences and tributes to Hamas Political Bureau Chief Ismail Haniyeh, who was recently killed.
The posts were removed from Facebook and Instagram on May 14 and July 30th. The meeting was also attended by Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil and Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC Chairman Tan Sri Muhammad Salim Fatih Din. The statement also stressed that the removal of these posts has profoundly impacted Malaysians and the global community, who empathize with the Palestinian struggle and oppose the injustices of the Zionist regime, as documented in history. In a related development, the PMO also expressed regret over the blocking of a live broadcast by RTM News on Facebook during the Himpunan Pembebasan Palestine rally last night. In this regard, the PMO has demanded a detailed explanation and a public apology from Meta.
And good news for civil servants. Starting next week, civil servants can check and calculate their salary hike rates under the public service remuneration system following the salary adjustment undertaken by the government. Public Service Deputy Director General of Operations, Dr. Muhammad Syaiful Ibrahim, said the adjustment mechanism would be announced by Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim at the 19th Majlis Amanat Perdana Perkhidmatan Awam event on August 16. New salary rates are set to be implemented in December. He added the salary adjustment under the SSPA applies to all federal civil servants, and a circular will be issued by the Public Service Department soon. In addition to salary increase, the revised SSPA also includes organizational development, employee talent development and benefits for pensioners. Similarly, pensioners will also receive an increase in their pension according to the prescribed formulas. On the review of the pension scheme, Muhammad Syaiful said the government gave assurance that the benefits for civil servants and future pensioners will be intact, noting that the government incurred about 32 billion ringgit for civil servant pension payments last year, and the amount increased by 2 billion ringgit annually. The ringgit continues its bullish momentum from last week to close higher against the US dollar today. According to Bloomberg, the ringgit rose the most in 9 years, amid optimism surrounding Malaysia's economy, rising by 1.57% against the greenback by the close of trading. At the close, the ringgit traded mostly higher against a basket of major currencies and appreciated against ASEAN peers. Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afzal Nizam Abdul Rashid said the ringgit continued to gain against the US dollar and broke through its immediate support at 4.4005 in the early session, but retreated in the afternoon session. Meanwhile, CIMB Investment Bank Berhad said the ringgit may fall below its fair value target of 4.30 against the US dollar, supported by Malaysia's export and foreign direct investment FDI recovery. In a note, the research bank maintains its preference for emerging markets of ringgit and developed markets Japanese yen based on expectations of faster Federal Reserve rate cuts in 2024 to 2025. The bank noted that a combination of front-loaded US rate cuts, positive exports and FDI prospects, the unwinding US dollar longs and normalizing bond or equity non-resident exposure supports the view that the US dollar could potentially exceed its fair value of 4.30 against the ringgit. CIMB Investment also highlighted that the recovery in electronics products or E&E exports and trade surplus may add up to $2 billion per month in net foreign currency FCY proceeds through end 2024. And on to world affairs. In the same development, the US dollar USD recouped some of its recent losses last week, despite a slightly dovish shift during the Federal Reserve's latest monetary policy meeting. Last week, the ringgit extended its bullish momentum to close higher against the US today amidst a weakened Tokyo stocks sank more than 12% on Monday, battered by a resurgent yen and weak US jobs data that fueled fears of a recession in the world's top economy. The benchmark Nikkei 225 index plunged 12.40%, or 4,451.28 points, to 31,458.42, its largest points drop in history, while the broader TOPIX index lost 12.23%, or 310.45 points, to 2,227.15. The yen surged to 141.73 against the dollar, level not seen since early January, from 146.52 yen in New York on Friday. Japanese currency has rapidly appreciated from levels of near 162 in early July, its weakest value since 1986. A stronger yen is a negative factor for Japanese exporters. The recent rally has been fueled by central bank policy decisions that have reversed the trends of recent years. The Bank of Japan last week raised interest rates for the second time in 17 years, with talk of another rate hike to come, while the U.S. Federal Reserve has hinted at a cut as soon as September. Daiwa Securities said the losses in Tokyo reflected deepening concerns over the uncertain U.S. economy. European stock markets also closed sharply in the red. In an attempt to calm volatility in the market, futures trading was suspended for 10 minutes as a so-called circuit breaker on the Nikkei and TOPIX indexes on the Osaka Exchange in Japan's western metropolis, an exchange official said. Semiconductor shares plunged with Tokyo Electron nosediving 18.48% to 22,055 yen, and Avantis tumbling 15.84% to 5,313 yen. Toyota plummeted 13.65% to 2,232 yen. Protests in Bangladesh that began as student-led demonstrations against government hiring rules in July culminated Monday in the Prime Minister fleeing and the military announcing it would form an interim government. At least 300 people were killed in more than a month of deadly protests that ended the autocratic rule of 76-year-old Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. University students built barricades blocking roads, railway lines to demand reforms of a quota system for sought-after public sector jobs. They say the scheme is used to stack the civil service, where loyalists of Hasina's ruling Awami League. Hasina, who won a fifth term as Prime Minister in January after a vote without genuine opposition, says the students are wasting their time. 6 people are killed in clashes, the first recorded deaths in the protests, a day after bitter violence when protesters and pro-government supporters fought in Dhaka with sticks and hurled bricks at each other. Hasina's government orders the nationwide closure of schools and universities. Australia on Monday raised its terrorism threat level to probable, with the country's top intelligence official citing a homegrown rise in extreme ideologies. Intelligence Chief Mike Bridges said there was no indication of an imminent attack, but there was an increased threat of violence in the next 12 months.
Australia's security environment is degrading. It is more volatile and more unpredictable. You've heard me say many times that espionage and foreign interference are our principal security concerns. ASIO's intelligence suggests that is no longer accurate. While the threats to our way of life remain elevated, we are seeing an increase in extremism. More Australians are being radicalised and radicalised more quickly. More Australians are embracing a more diverse range of extreme ideologies, and more Australians are willing to use violence to advance their cause.
Burgess, the head of the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation, said more Australians were being radicalised and they were increasingly willing to use violence to advance their cause. Australia's threat level had until Monday been classified as possible. Burgess added that extreme ideologies had increased during the COVID-19 pandemic and more recently during the Israel-Hamas conflict. In the past 4 months, 8 attacks or disruptions had alleged or potential terror links, declining to comment on them in detail. One high-profile attack in April, a 16-year-old boy allegedly stabbed an Assyrian Christian bishop during a live-streamed Sydney church service. See you a little closer with TVS as we bring the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shola Shameto. Thank you for watching and have a good night.